Welcome to the very first community build order on the channel, where I'm going to be sharing some different builds and ideas that you guys have been cooking on the ladder to give you some inspiration, some off-meta ideas and things you can test out in Season 9 to surprise and amaze your opponents. This time we're with Conrad Rue as Order of the Dragon, doing a Gilded Men-at-Arm rush. As you can see here, we have 5 villagers on food and we've rallied over to gold. We're going to be going up to 2 villagers. One of these villagers is going to build the mining camp and the house. Now, these build orders are not supposed to be the super optimal ones. These aren't created by the Conqueror 4 mega chads. These are just things that everyone's trying on the ladder, and I think it'd be really nice to just share some different ideas that you can try out yourself. So if you can figure out ways of polishing them, any things you'd like to try, make sure you put those in the comments as well. I think that's going to be super fun. So now that we've got 2 villagers on gold, we're going to be rallying back onto food until we get 10 in total. Now, Conrad has actually been working on this for a little while, and he sent me over some details of the matchups that he thinks are going to be good and going to be bad for this particular style from his testing. He's got about a 70 to 75% win rate using this strategy, so I think it's definitely very effective for him. So I'm going to be putting a little graphic that he made for me up on the screen so you can see which matchups work. So any with a tick generally work very, very well. Any with the little squiggle, it's always spawn dependent, because if they have a super safe gold, then you're going to be in trouble. And any with a cross means they actually have a direct counter to the men-at-arms, so it's really not something you want to be trying. So this isn't a universal strategy against every single civ, but it's very, very strong. In this one, we can see that we're actually against the Byzantines, which is very, very effective, because anyone who plays Byzantines like myself knows that there are no heavy unit counters that we have available to us. So this is really taking advantage of what the Order of the Dragon can do, as well as what the Byzantines can't do. So we're not going to be focusing on what he's doing over there. We're just about to see what Conrad is going to do with his age up. So he's going for the mine work, which we're going to be putting down here with 3, and then 2 of these guys from food are going to be shifting over to wood. They're going to do 1 drop off of wood, so however much they carry each. There we go, jumping back into the TC to try and snipe that scout. So doing 1 drop of each, then one of these guys is going to stay on wood and the other one's going to go to food. This is going to give you enough wood to drop down the barracks by the time you get to the place. And also we can see as well that we have 2 of these guys on gold. There we go, and one of them is going to be running forward in a second. We can see actually he's already shot off, so he is going to be going to build the forward proxy barracks. The whole idea of this build is getting the men-at-arms into their base as quickly as you possibly can. So this villager is going to find a place close to their base where he can build a barracks, and then he can move over onto gold or something else. So looking at where he has here, usually you'd want to take advantage of the stealth forest, or if there's a little wood line you can hide it behind just so they're less likely to see. So I think in this case Conrad's going to go for this stealth forest here to make sure it's not caught out. So that's actually going to work really well, because all of this is going to be shrouded by that stealth forest, and he's just over the way from the base so he can send those men-at-arms straight in. Once we do that, we're going to see it back in the base that we are rallied onto food, and we're going to be going up to 13 on food at this case. So these guys also need to shoot back over to the sheep here when they remember. There we go. So we're on 12, we need 1 more, and then it's going to be going up to 10 on wood so that you can continue to add in production and all of that good stuff. So the barracks is complete, and we're just waiting for enough food to put that first men-at-arm in queue. So 4:15 for the first one going in, so he's going to be ready at about 4:40, something like that. So with a little polishing, you can probably shave a couple of seconds off this one, but that's a very, very quick timing. And you can see here that the Byzantine doesn't have any of their production buildings down yet. They're still gathering their oil, so at the moment they don't have any real defenses. They're dropping the Merc House, but that's going to be a little while before they come out. So first men-at-arms is out and going straight out to do damage, and with this kind of strategy you really need to make sure that you are putting pressure on immediately, because if you delay, wait till you've got 5 men-at-arms, you're allowing your opponent to get their resources, to build up their economy, and to get their units. So Men-at-Arms running in now, going over to the gold to try and idle those. So this is where you need to be thinking about the resources that you're hitting for each of your opponents. So the Byzantines want the gold. He had quite a lot on gold, so he's doing that. And then also you want to be idling up the berries. Other civilizations, maybe it's not so heavy on gold, like Delhi, you'd be focusing on wood and berries as an example. So the resources you hit are very much going to be matchup dependent. But we can see already 2 men-at-arms in queue, and the third one is on the way, and now the economy is really cooking. So we can see the villager split here isn't exactly as I described. We did say go up to 13. Conrad has been polishing this, so I think he's ever so slightly different, but the idea is you want 13 and then 10 on wood. I'm also going to put this on screen for you so you can save it and come back to that later. So he's attacking that wood, keeping that idle, and then he's also sending another one over here to get these berries. And this is where you want to make sure that you're keeping these guys alive, and it's all about idling the economy. You don't want to be actually taking too much damage because you need to keep these guys alive. Also, because he has the mine work, we can also check back that he has been getting his upgrades. He's getting the +1 attack, and he's also getting the +1 defense. At this stage you shouldn't be taking too much damage, so the golden cuirass isn't required just yet. But mining camp going down, so some resources there have been denied, and this Byzantine player went for longbows, so he's having to escape just to make sure that he's not going to lose these guys to those longbows if they start kiting. Luckily he didn't move those longbows, so he's actually taking a little bit less damage there. He has idled up these villagers, and they are building a tower, so again you're costing them resources at this stage, and he's really trying to get to Castle Age, which a lot of players will do against Order of the Dragon because they are nervous of those gilded units, and if they can get to Castle then they've also got access to crossbows. So this is the strategy he's going for at the moment, which at the moment is playing into Conrad's hands because he's building up these units. Going back to play a little bit defensively here, avoiding these longbows is a good idea. So also what you want to be doing is circling their base and poking any exposed resources. So here the wood line is quite exposed, but even just running in and running back out, that would idle up these wood villagers, would help slow down the economy as well. So this barracks has been constantly producing. We've got 6 of these in so far, which is a huge amount of military for this stage of the game, and we've also got a round with siege engineering that has come in, so potentially going for siege engineering a little bit earlier. I think going for range defense is always the best first upgrade, then if you're in a position to start ramming, then going for that as well. And at this stage you should be starting to get closer to that 10 on wood. So I think with the build order that Conrad's been working on, you should be able to get 8 men-at-arms and 2 rams by about 8:30. So this one actually is ever so slightly less than that, but still a very, very good amount. And you can see that he's going for the double rams to make sure that they can do a huge amount of damage. Now at this stage, we can see that our Byzantine friend here is aging up, so this is where Conrad has to be really careful that he's not able to get to the Castle Age and get the units that can put a stop to those. He's also jumped into the rams. This is something that you can be doing, a little clown car trick. If you keep them in there, then they keep them alive, and then when the villagers come out to burn them, then they can jump out like that and do a huge amount of damage. So this is actually something really good with this strategy. If you drop your men-at-arms in there, you can actually then get a really good hit on those villagers, and because of the base damage they have, if we take a little look at this guy, he is going to be doing 15 a hit, so he can do a huge amount. We can see he's jumping out, and there we go, the low health one going straight in the ram, and now this is like a little shield keeping these guys alive. They're taking a huge amount, tanking a huge amount of damage. Against longbows, if there's a lot of range defense like this, maybe going for the golden cuirass as well once you've got enough is okay, but we can see that Conrad is focusing mainly on the producing the men-at-arms and not getting lots of upgrades. Here he's going for the cisterns. A little tip from a Byzantine main: if you're going to be attacking like this, going for houses obviously houses them. attacking the aqueduct is actually an easier target because the cistern is 1500. If you attack the aqueduct, it's 600 and it still breaks the network. So if you can get the right angle, break the aqueduct first because it breaks the network, and then go for the cistern as well. So we can see that Zinmato is going for a little bit of a snipe here, so Conrad's able to jump out and then idle up those villagers and get them, and even running under the TC he's able to take a huge amount of damage there. Longbow's coming in and another men-at-arms has been running around the berries to idle those up, so even with this improved outpost he's able to survive for a long time. So diving like this is quite aggressive, but he is getting some villager kills there as well. 5 down so far, and he's in the castle age but he doesn't have the resources, no gold and no military, and this is the idea. It doesn't matter if you get to castle if you don't have the resources to take them on. So the Byzantine composition here, I think not the best against that. The villagers have taken out the rams, but with all of those gilded men-at-arms in the wood line, that's going to be the end of that. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick, succinct build order for something you can try on the ladder, and let me know in the comments how it skyrockets your Order of the Dragon win rates.